Things currently stand. Spurs are 5th in the Premier League. They've played 33 games. Above them is Villa. They've played 35, so they've got 2 in hand. The gap between the two is 7 points. So if Spurs win both their games, they'll be just a point behind Villa with 3 games to play. Chelsea, however, are 9th in the Premier League. They've got 5 games to go. They're on 48 points. Above them on 49 is West Ham. Manchester United on 54, and Newcastle in the middle with 53. So it's still all to play for both clubs. As an Arsenal fan, will you be cheering Spurs goals? Because my thinking is you want Spurs to win this game, so they've still got a chance of top 4. So when Spurs come around to play Man City,
they're still at it. They're still starting to play for.
Still,
yeah, of course, yeah.
So will you be cheering? If Spurs win, will you be come on the Spurs?
No, I won't cheer. I think I'll just be like, okay, they've done their part.
But you'll be happy. Who do you want to win?
What, usually?
No, now.
What, tonight?
Yeah.
It's got to be Spurs, isn't it? Because I want a bit of momentum.
Go on, give it the old, come on, you Spurs.
No. Usually.
No, because Chelsea's your dad, right?
So, but it's. I do think they've improved under to Postecoglou. I mean, 8th last year they finished.
Yeah.
7th. So they've already matched their points total. They're on 60 now.
Yeah.
They got 60 in the total last season. 71 the year before that under Antonio Conte, where they finished 4th. So I do think there are improvements. I know Spurs fans enjoy watching what they're seeing now. But I do wonder, and Jamie O'Hara almost kind of summed it up. I know he was a bit reactionary, isn't he? He's like, we're the best team on planet Earth and we're out with the worst team ever.
We won the transfer window.
Yeah. I do think at some point he's got to look at the way that they play and go, like it's incredible to watch.
We keep saying this, don't we?
We get that, but I think at times they're just a little bit too open. But again, I mean, you look at the derby at the weekend, for instance. When Romero scores the goal, what is he doing there? Why is he pressing the Why is he pressing the goalkeeper? He's the centre half. Do you know what I mean?
But that's good, isn't it?
It is good, but it's so gun ho. Like, I would enjoy watching it, but at times it must be like heart in
Let me
mouth
ask you.
times.
Whenever we talk about Ange Postecoglou, we always talk about this plan B. He doesn't have a plan B. He only knows one. That's his philosophy and so on, right? If Spurs get top 4, are we all wrong and he's right? Because he hasn't changed it and it would have worked, right? Champions League football, it's worked.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, but to the point where, listen, all the best managers in the world that are far better than Big Ange, by the way, have got the ability to adapt. Pep's not got a plan A. Jurgen Klopp's not got a plan A. Even Arteta's not got a plan A. We saw him park the bus against Man City. Unai Emery, he's got several plans.
Yeah, he really has.
Do you know what I mean? So top managers can adapt to what they need to do. You can't always play the same against every opponent. Do you know what I mean? So, again, enjoying watching Spurs do the way that they play, but at some point I wonder if he might just tweak 1 or 2 things. Or he might have to.
Have a listen to this. This is, I think, quite fascinating and interesting. The Spurs gaffer, Ange Postecoglou, he's been speaking to the media ahead of tonight's London derby against Chelsea. It's live and exclusive, I'll have you know, on talkSPORT. He said that he still needs to convince some of his players about his style of play.
The question for me always in these circumstances is, are they doing it because I'm telling them to do it, or are they doing it because they believe in it? And that's always the process you're going through. And it's inevitable at the start. Most of it is happening because you're telling them to do it. So at least I'm making an impact. They're listening to me. So that's one box sort of ticked. But for it to truly kind of evolve into something I want, it's because the players believe in it. And I've seen, players growing into that and believing in it more, but we're not there yet.
He does talk in that interview about staff and players. Some of them don't believe his philosophy and they need to buy into it. What does that tell you about behind the scenes there?
Yeah, because of course there's going to be moments in games where defenders and experienced players on that football pitch are thinking to themselves, right, we're winning this game, let's just see it out. And he wants them to still keep going. So there's an element to that dressing room where they're going to go, oh my goodness, is he sure? Does he want us to do this? And you're almost caught in between. So there's times where you might want to go and press, but you think, I can't really press there because I'm leaving him exposed.
Yeah.
But you have to go anyway because he wants you to do that. So I can understand it's going to take time to convince everybody. And that includes players and staff. But once he starts to get a little bit of success, it will become natural.
I think all Spurs fans, one of the questions we were going to ask, have Spurs improved? I don't think there's anyone on this planet that can look at this Tottenham side now and say they haven't. Can you? As you said, they're on the same points as last season, and they've got how many games left? 5 games to go.
Yeah.
They have improved, and they've improved without Harry Kane as well.
That's
so impressive.
That's impressive. That's really impressive because I weren't sure what was going to happen. I wasn't sure what was going to happen in regards to that.
What are you doing?
I was looking at Spurs last season. How many they conceded? 63.
Okay, and it's how many at the moment?
And-
67.
and-
No, it's 52.
50, so it's even
So they're
defensively,
tighter, yeah.
so they're even tighter.
Well, that's really fascinating because
That's
they're,
why I was checking.
they're playing higher up as well.
Higher up.
And they're leaving a lot of gaps in behind.
Exactly. So that's why I was thinking.
But it's working because defensively they're better.
conceding less goals. So again, as long as they keep being, if they keep trying to be successful, keep playing on the front foot, and they see a bit of improvement every year, I think Spurs fans will be like, okay, we like what we're seeing. But at some point, the end game is, as always, you have to have something to show for it.
Set pieces was a problem against, who's it the weekend? Your mob. Against your mob at the weekend.
Not just our mob, by the way.
It's been a problem for them.
Yeah.
He's come out and said that he doesn't see it as a massive problem getting a set piece coaching. If Chelsea score 1, 2 or even more tonight from a set piece, how worrying is that for Tottenham between now and the rest of the season?
Well, if you're doing your kind of due diligence on...
Oh, well, you like that word.
Yeah, on Spurs' set plays,
Yeah.
the first thing you do is you go, right...
If you're Chelsea tonight...
you go, you stand someone on Vicario, and every single corner or free kick, more so corner, you whip it right underneath the crossbar because he's weak as anything. We saw him against West Ham where he got bullied by, I think, Antonio. Didn't even do much. Big Zuma comes in, goal.
Who was it? I don't know if I saw this on the telly or we've had this chat and you said it. Or it might have been Gary Neville. I can't remember. Someone said what Spurs should be looking at is if you've got a player standing on your goalkeeper, get one of their players to stand in between that player.
I said it.
Okay, it was you.
Surely...
So go into more detail about that. Why wouldn't Spurs do that then? Is that a really obvious thing?
It's really obvious because especially when you look at the camera angle behind Ben White for the Havertz goal, or even the first one, he doesn't even have to do a lot wrong. But the fact is Ben White on the goalkeeper's getting no protection. You know that he's not the most comfortable, certainly in set plays, areas, corners, coming for crosses, punching. He's not the most confident because he's been done a few times this year, by the way, where he thinks it's a foul and he hasn't been given the decision. Surely you get a defender to kind of try and stand in between him and the attacker, so then the goalkeeper can concentrate right. I know that he's marking him. All I've got to do is concentrate on the ball. When it's just Ben White on him, he's got no chance.
Is that a schoolboy?
Little bit, yeah. Little bit.
That's amazing.
Especially when you know he's not comfortable with that.
Yeah. How do you see the game going tonight? We're going to take calls on this in just a moment. How do you see the game going?
It's always entertaining. This game's always entertaining.
It is. I mean, we were talking about the Battle of Bridge. That was 8 years ago. Is this the best fixture in the Premier League?
I don't know about that.
Okay, is it in the top 5 best fixtures in the Premier League? It is, without doubt. Spurs, I mean, the last one was nuts. 4-1.
4-1, yeah. 9 men.
I mean, that was nuts, that game.
And they kept going as well, Spurs.
And that was brilliant,
yeah.
By the way. If tonight is, I'll take half as good as that for tonight.
You know what? It's a great fixture to play. I've played in the Fury League. Great fixture. Next question. I know you're going to ask me. Yes, 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. Goal.
I don't know if you've scored this amount of goals. I said earlier on, you've scored more goals than Pele.
Look here, 1-0 down.
I don't know. You've never had a game where you haven't scored 2 bosh from the penalty.
I just had one now. I missed one.
If I start talking about the 1966 World Cup final, you're like...
I'm not going to lie to you.
Jeff Peters got 3, you've got the other.
In the warm-up, Jeff Peters.
Jeff Hurst.
In the warm-up.
Jeff Hurst and Martin Peters, yeah? Yeah.
Got one in the warm-up,
Did
6.
you?
But no, great game to play in.
What's going to happen tonight, Darren Bent?
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. So I'm going to say...
Yeah.
3-3.
Do you know what? That's exactly what I think. Which is ridiculous, because it won't be that. But I think that. I mean, they're always.
I bet there's over 6 goals. I bet there's 6 goals are over.
I would stop betting if I were you. You owe me a lot of money.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.